Today I'm going to tell you about my monthly expenses living alone in Spain. Hi everyone, how are you? And welcome back to my channel. In case you don't know me, I am Anita Mateo, I'm Cuban, I live in Galicia, Spain. Currently, well, I live alone. It's been almost, 9 or 10 months, I can't even remember, living on my own. And honestly, well, I made a video about my monthly expenses in Spain about a year ago, but that was before I lived alone. And well, let's update it, because when you live alone, things are a little different. Honestly, I think that in these countries, supporting yourself alone is super difficult, especially when you're a migrant. This isn't my country, I wasn't born here. I don't have my mom or my dad here, so when I need money, they're not around to give it to me or anything like that. Basically, I've had to face a pretty unknown world that scares me alone. I mean, the world of paying for a lot of things. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm not grateful. I love living in Spain and have no regrets. As a Cuban, I'm not going back. It's better here than in Cuba. Also, feel free to subscribe for free. You help me a lot, and by liking this video, leaving a comment with more than 3 words. Maybe, I don't know if you feel like it. Anyway, let's get started, because I'm going to tell you about all the expenses I've had these past few months. I mean, more or less an average monthly expense that a person who lives alone and lives in a small town would have, because I don't live in a big city. I'm telling you, in a big city, it would be impossible to live alone. I mean, to pay for an apartment and all that by yourself. I live in a small town, and that's why, more or less, I figured it out. It's challenging, but not impossible. I'm here to help and provide information. This is my personal experience. No experience is the same as another. I'm going to take Phoebe out for her daily walk. And well, I already did the shopping, but all I bought was milk. What was it? That's what I said. We still have a big shopping trip. Which milk do you buy? I'm buying the Asturiana skim milk. This is the one I like the most, and I'm buying it skimmed. Because when I buy whole milk, it kind of gives me a bit of a stomach ache and all that, so I buy it like this. Here I am doing laundry again. It's washing and taking clothes out all week, since clothes won't dry here even on sunny days. It's just that adult life comes down to cleaning, washing, and especially scrubbing the kitchen. That's constant. Adult life is basically non-stop kitchen cleaning. Let me wait for the noise to stop, then we'll discuss my monthly expenses living alone in Spain. Alright, now let's get straight to the point. I write everything down in this notebook. All my information and everything is here. And of course, I took notes. Because you see, in these countries, in the so-called capitalist countries, you have to pay for everything. You pay for all the services. It's not like in Cuba where you don't pay. Well, in Cuba you do pay for everything too. It's just that sometimes there's nothing to pay for because there isn't anything. There's no gas, there's nothing. The water goes out and the electricity goes out. Everything goes out. So, well, everything is different. Here it's a different world. And well, here everything is written down. Let's start with my monthly expenses living alone in Spain. Everything I've had to pay, and the total I have to pay, well, almost every month. It's not always the same, but well, more or less. And I'm also going to give you some tips, maybe some saving tips that I've implemented to reduce these expenses a little. These expenses were from December. For example, I'll also tell you how much I spent, though I'm not sure. On going out to dinner, I didn't include, for example, trips or anything like that. I don't do that every month, but yes, for example, I did count it. Because in the Banco app, it shows me how much I spent on leisure, which would be like when you go out and pay for something, like outside the house and so on. This was in December. The first and most important expense is rent. I've told you several times I pay 430 for this little house. It's very cheap rent. Let's remove this since you've already passed, and I sometimes forget to do it. That's a very low rent. And they say that a long time ago in the towns here, it used to be even cheaper. Now, if you live in a city, you'll never find rent like that. Unless it's in a neighborhood with a poor reputation or something extremely small. But generally in small towns, you do find more affordable rents for someone who might live alone. Now, if you want to save even more money on this, you can share a room. Or, of course, if you live with someone, a friend, family, boyfriend, or anyone. Well, obviously you share the expenses. The other thing is the internet, which I pay, well, 40 euros a month for the Wi-Fi at home and the internet on my phone. Now, water is every 3 months. In my last video about monthly expenses, I miscalculated for some reason. I already said I pay about 3 euros a month for water. I don't know why. I said that wrong, but that's not how it is. Water is paid every 3 months. I mean, I don't pay for water every month. Every 3 months, I pay about 20 to 30 euros for water. Recently, it's 20. I used to pay 30 or more, but now it's around 20 or 21. electricity. Here I have the electricity bill, but it's from November, not December, because you pay for the previous month. It was 2 bills of 30.70 euros, so it's pretty cheap. I used to pay much more for electricity before. I've also switched companies. I'm currently with Repsol. It's the one that's worked best for me. Let me fix this. With Repsol, it's the one that's worked best for me. I started with Iberdrola and things were good until they raised the price a lot. One day I got an electricity bill for nearly 100 euros. I left because it was too high. I hadn't used that much. I don't turn on the heating in winter to save as much as possible. Then I switched to Naturgy because they told me, no, this one is a bit cheaper, but that was a lie. I also got huge bills from them. I don't know if it was because of the type of contract I had, I don't know. But then I switched again. I asked my friend, who are you with? Because she told me that she didn't pay that much for electricity, and she said, I'm with Repsol. And when you're with Repsol for electricity, they also give you like benefits for gas, since the gas is also with Repsol. So I'm with them now, and so far it's where things have gone best for me. It's where I've paid the least, and that's good. For example, if I connect 3 devices at the same time that use electricity. For example, if I turn on the dryer, the bathroom heater, and another heater, if I use 3 things like that, those things that produce heat, the power goes out. Maybe the plan I have is cheap because it doesn't really cover much. I don't know how to explain it, but it's something like that. That's fine for me since I don't use the heater, but sometimes I've left the oven on. As I was getting ready to shower and turned on the bathroom heater, the power went out in the whole house. It still happens. Since I'm self-employed, I have this expense every month, which is the self-employment contribution, but I don't know if I should mention it because, well, not everyone is self-employed, and I'm kind of talking about the general expenses that a person would have. But anyway, I'll mention it. I pay the fixed fee, which is 86.66. That's what I pay every month. For being self-employed in Spain, this little video about my experience being self-employed in Spain is coming very soon. I'm preparing it as well. For people who want to get informed or who want to know a little more about my experience and what I think. I keep paying for health insurance because I don't know, I just do. And my family told me, like no cousin, my cousin told me, I've always paid for it. I think it's always better to have insurance. You never know, I don't know what could happen, and anyway, I keep paying for my health insurance. I pay 50, 65 for health insurance. I pay insurance for this phone. I bought it new. I want to cancel it because I think it's an unnecessary expense. I want to return to the store where I bought it and cancel the unnecessary expense. Honestly, but when I bought it, I said yes, that I was going to pay for the iPhone insurance. That's in case you drop it, it breaks, or anything happens. I think they give you another one or something like that. But anyway, I take care of my phone. Honestly, I haven't dropped it or anything. I'm eliminating this expense, but I've had it until now. It's 2019. I pay for the phone insurance. Consulting. Since I'm self-employed, I need to have an accountant who helps me with tax payments, invoices, and all that. And that's another expense that I've increased this year as well. As you can see, I have many new expenses now, and it's quite difficult, everything. But well, the consulting, I pay 72.60, all of this, including value-added tax, because supposedly it would be 60 and something, but since they add value-added tax, I end up paying 72.60. But well, all of these are expenses. I deduct them later for tax payments and such. They're work expenses. And the gas, each cylinder costs me about 19 euros while living alone. I buy it every 2 months. I buy gas cylinders. The cylinders last me a long time. Now, these are fixed expenses every month because the other expenses vary. Fixed expenses, I would have 769.8 euros per month. Oh, I see the amount and it alarms me, but why is it almost more than half of your salary? But well, these are necessary living expenses here. But anyway, these are the fixed expenses I have every month. Now let's move on to expenses that I can actually cut. For example, Netflix is 13.99, Disney is 5.99, and Spotify is 14.99 in total. That would be 34.17. But these expenses, for example, my friend and I share the costs of these platforms, and we share the platforms. Now let's discuss other expenses which vary and aren't always consistent. But I'm going to tell you what I spent in the month of December. December, as you know, is a month when people spend a lot of money. So please don't judge my expenses. For instance, food is important and I haven't mentioned it yet. I spent 284 euros, but this includes eating out. Because for example, in the monthly shopping, I think I don't even reach 200 euros because it's not that I love Phoebe. She's listening to me there. She's listening to me intently. Yes, my love, you should go out to work too and help with the expenses of this house. Well, I spent 284 euros on groceries. Honestly, I rarely eat out. I usually eat at home quite a lot to save that little bit of money. But, well, in December, I did go out to eat a little. And for entertainment, that, I don't know what it means. It must be, I don't know if it's included there. Buying clothes, I haven't bought clothes in a while. You know, I haven't bought clothes or shoes because in December I didn't buy any clothes or shoes. I haven't bought anything because it doesn't feel the same anymore. Now I'm more aware that I should save and focus on important expenses. So, before, for example, I used to buy a lot of clothes and a lot of things all the time because I still wasn't paying taxes when I wasn't self-employed. But now that I am, I can't live like that anymore. I have to be more aware, more responsible, more of an adult. The bank app already said that's it for leisure. 231.91 euros. I don't even know what that leisure expense is. It could be anything. Like I said, these expenses vary. Sometimes I spend nothing on leisure, or I don't eat out much or do big grocery trips, things like that. I'm telling you that 284 for food seems like a lot to me because I think I spend much less on groceries. And every time I go grocery shopping, if I do a really big shopping trip, which I do twice a month, I spend about 60 euros usually on weeks when I just pick up random things I need. 20, 30 euros, so that doesn't even reach 300. Well, I don't know. Well, I calculated everything and my December expenses were 1,319.88. And I'm not even telling you that I send money to Cuba, to my family. I didn't include that there. I don't send the same amount every month. I send what I can depending on my situation since I can't always do it. Just imagine, look at my monthly fixed expenses. They're already a lot. I don't know about you. I mean, let me know down below what you think, if it's a lot or if it's a little. There are things I can save on, like for example, streaming. I can save on that. And the iPhone insurance, I think I'm going to cancel that. I save a lot on electricity and also on food. I always try to buy inexpensive things, not to spend too much, but there are things I can't avoid, which are fixed expenses that always have to be paid. And in every country, like in the United States, in Germany, wherever you live, there are expenses. You can't avoid things that are necessary in a home. And well, these were my monthly expenses last month. Like I said, not every month is the same. If I travel or do something similar, I spend more, but those are still expenses, like an investment. I save, I set something aside and say, well, this is for a trip, and on that trip, I'm gonna make videos and all that. That also counts as work expenses for me, which I later ask for an invoice and all that. And now also this year, that expense will be added for the school I'm paying for because I'm talking about this course, which I also have to pay for monthly. And well, that's it. This video has stressed me out a bit. And to talk about all my expenses because it's been a few months with a lot of responsibilities, and well, that's it. It's complicated, folks. It's hard to live alone and have all these expenses. I don't recommend it. It's not like it's impossible. Like, I have to tell you that there have been many months when I've been really tight, because maybe you think that because of the followers. People think everything goes perfectly for me because I'm a YouTuber, but that's not true. I'm just here. Like any normal person, I'm here just like any normal person who lives here. I've had months when I was broke just like everyone else. This topic of money, nobody likes to talk about it, but I talk about it. I tell you, how much did I spend in December? It's normal, it's no big deal. But I have to say that here, life is hard. Here, when you're alone, it's much harder, much more difficult than if you shared the expenses. And well, I'm not afraid to say that there have been many months when, for example, there have been months when I've had to stay here at home and not go out because I just can't spend any more money, because there are also many people who think it's not like that. People see your Instagram and think you're always traveling and doing things, but that's just from 1 month I saved for over many months. It's not like every month is like that. And there are many people who go through much harder times. I have to feel fortunate because at least I have a job that I like. I work from home, you know. But I know there are many people who also work off the books, earn much less money and have to support a family. It's not easy at all, honestly. And well, I just wanted to tell you that. And well, I forgot to do the ending for the video. Just arrived, it's another day. From the gym, I guess the leisure expenses included the gym because I didn't count it. You say, hey, that's a lot of expenses. I spent it all by myself here. But look, let me tell you something. There's no comparison with Cuba. I mean, in Cuba, what you earn isn't even enough for 10 minutes of your month, literally. In 10 minutes, you spent it all. You bought bread and eggs and your salary was gone. I mean, the idea that what you earn is enough to pay for your utilities, to pay for things for your home. It's something that you don't experience in Cuba, so it's a privilege to be able to do it, you know? Because, for example, my family, if I don't send them money from here in Spain, they can't manage over there. They can't support themselves all month, it's impossible. So therefore, it's a privilege to be able to, with what you work for, with what you earn, pay for your own things. Even electricity, gas, those services that in my country you can't afford. I mean, in my country you can't afford anything, nothing. I think that the pension of, I don't know, a retiree, once you've paid for electricity, your pension is gone. Supporting myself here and helping my family in Cuba, especially elderly relatives, are my main reasons for working. Motivations, I forgot to end the video. I'm wearing different clothes because it's another day, but anyway, I'm going to say goodbye now. I send you a big kiss. I hope it was interesting. I'm making this video to help people who want to come to Spain or see the costs in Galicia in a village. Well, I'm sharing my experience to answer the common question, how much do you spend in Spain per month? And I'm telling you, everyone is completely different. There are people who will spend much more and there are people who will spend much less. Well, it depends. When you have some help, you spend less because you share the expenses. Many say, Anita, I just wanted someone to split costs with. I don't know what to look at. Not everything in life is meant to be shared. There are plans, there are things for the future that you don't know about. I only share what I'm living and a part of myself, but you don't know everything else, all the future plans. That's all. Just wanted to say that and send a kiss. Don't forget to subscribe. We release a new video each week, though not always on Fridays. For instance, this one wasn't uploaded on a Friday. I'm not sure anymore. I might start uploading videos on Sundays since I have more to do now and want to change the day. I need more days in the week to edit. That's it. Sending a big kiss. See you next week. Bye.